Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jennifer. So guys, in this video today we're gonna make this verse you sing on the screen. I did wear it at church as a uniform because I'm an usher. If it's your first time, please like this video, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. Welcome to the family. Let's get into this video. So for this verse you need 4 buttons, a lining fabric of 1 meter, and the actual fabric 1 meter. I was using non-stretch Dutch satin, and you can see the equipment you need to sew. So I'm gonna go ahead and fold my fabric into 2. I'm gonna start with my back. As you can see, that is the right side, and I'm folding it on the wrong side. I'm using non-stretch Dutch satin. So the length of this vest is 28, so I went ahead and measured 28 already. I make a line on top and a line on the bottom because I don't want that fabric trimming to be on my vest. As you can see, I'm showing you it's 28 inches. So now I'm gonna take my body measurement. Please use your own body measurement. From my shoulder to my bust is 11 inch, and from my shoulder to my waist is 15 inch. So I'm gonna mark those 2 lines. Remember, we are starting with the back. We are making the back pattern, and the last line is the top length, okay, which is 28. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure again on the other side just to keep my line straight. So after measuring, I went ahead and connect. As you can see, it's not easy to draft straight on the satin, but I'm trying my best. So I'll just connect. The first line is my bust line, the second line is my waistline, and the last line is the top length. So now we're gonna work on the neck, and the neck I'm gonna go in by 3 inch, and I'm gonna come down by 1.5 because this is the back pattern we are making, remember. And I'm gonna go ahead and connect it. Now I'm gonna work on my shoulder. So my shoulder measurement is 7, and from that 7 I'm gonna come down by 1 inch. Then I'm gonna take my ruler and connect it. Now I'm gonna work on my armhole. I'm gonna go down by 8 inch. So you take your armhole circumference and you divide it by 2. My one was 18 divided by 2, I have 9. I did deduct that 1 inch, so I'm gonna mark 8. So from that point I'm gonna create my chest line, which I'll just make a line as you can see in the video. Then I'm gonna come and take, there I have 8. So 8 divided by 2, I have 4, and from that point I'm gonna come in by 0.5, and I'm gonna take my bust measurement divided by 4. For me it was 40, so I'm gonna have 10. So just mark 10 there, and I'm gonna connect those 3 mark. I just mark to create my armhole. Now I'm gonna take my nipple to nipple measurement was 8 divided by 2, I have 4. I'm gonna mark 4 on the bust line, on the waistline, and on the top length. Just watch what I'm doing in the video, and I'm gonna go ahead and connect all together. Now we're gonna make our dots. Please make sure you take your dot intake on the waistline. So on the waistline I'm gonna go both sides by 0.5, which is gonna be 1 inch, and I'm gonna come up from my top length by 4 inches. Then I'm gonna go ahead and create my dot. Now I'm gonna put my body measurement. So on my waist measurement divide by 4, which is 8.5. I'm gonna mark that 8.5 first. Then I'm gonna take my dart intake, which is 1 inch. So I'm gonna add that 1 inch, so it's gonna be 9.5 instead of 8.5. So on the top length, which is my up hip, so divide by 4, I have 11.3. So I'm gonna mark that 11.3. Then I'm gonna go ahead and connect all these 3 points together. So this is how it's looking. I'll just add 1 inch sewing allowance. You can add 1.5, but for me I think 1 inch is okay because this is a vest. I don't need so much allowance, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Just add 1.5. So I'm gonna go ahead also and connect. As you can see, I'm doing it in the video. So on the side, I'm gonna come up by 1.5 because I don't want it, to sit funny on the skate or on me. So I'm gonna come up by 1.5. Then I'm gonna connect it to the existing top. This is just to help it sit nice on you. As you can see, our back pattern is ready. I'm not gonna add any sewing allowance on the armhole. I'm gonna add only on the shoulder and the neck. So I'm gonna add 0.5. Don't add too much. And when you're gonna stitch, please make sure you stitch that 0.5. So that is 0.5 I did add. And on the neck, just a little bit, not too much, because this is the back neck. And I'm gonna come up by 1 inch because I want the top to fold when I'm gonna sew it. So I'll just inside of the top, like I'm gonna come up by 1 inch, then I'll connect it. Because when I'm gonna cut my lining is gonna be a little bit shorter. So the top is now gonna be 27 and the lining is gonna be 26. So when I stitch it, it's gonna fold. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut the back pattern. So this is how the back pattern is looking. I'm gonna go ahead and transfer my dart. So like I always do, I just put my pin there, and also on the waistline, make sure you put on both 3 lines of the dot, and on top there on the bust line. So now if the pin is actually showing on the other side, then I'll just take my ruler and my chalk and transfer my dart. But if you don't want to do this, you can just do the whole process again. But this is just time saving and make things quick. Yeah, and I love to do this. Like, I just love to do this. But if you don't want to do this, you can just do the whole process again. You just mark your bust line, your waistline, and you come in by 0.5 both sides, and by the bottom of the top you come up by 4 inch and do the whole that. But make life easier. My dart is almost done, and I'll go ahead and remove the pin, and this is how it's looking, easy life. Yeah, so I'll do the same process also with my lining. Yeah, so now our bag is ready. We're gonna use the same bag to draft our front. For that, you must fold your fabric into two. As you can see, it can be unfold or not unfold, is not really necessary. Just fold it into two, and remember our top length is 28 and we are drafting the front pattern, so just mark 28 and you're gonna go ahead and connect it, with straight line on top and on the bottom. After doing that, I'm gonna come in by 1 inch. You can put 1.5. So this is gonna be our buttonhole or button line. After marking 1 inch all around, now I'm gonna go ahead and connect it all together. Now I'm gonna bring my back pattern and I'm gonna put it on the fabric. Just make sure the center back it's laying on the line, because that line is our buttonhole, so it must lay there next to the line, like on top of the line. Just make sure you put it properly. After that, pin it, like make sure it's flat, it's sitting properly, and then you're gonna go ahead and pin it. Now we're gonna work on our neckline. So you can see on that line I did take on top, I'm gonna come down by 9 inch on the 1 inch line I did take and connect it, and on the bottom I'm gonna come up by 4 inch. You can do 5. So just watch what I'm doing in the video. I place my tape and then mark. Then I'm gonna go ahead and connect it the same way I did on the top. And you can open your top, on that bottom there, like this way, and then just connect it that way. Or you can take the measurement of your back pattern. I have 12 divided by 2, so I'm gonna mark 6, and that from that 6 I'll go ahead and take my ruler and connect with a straight line, because you can see in front of the vest there's like a V shape, so just connect it there. On the other side you can also make it straight, or you can just curve it, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, but make sure the front and the back must be the same length. Yes, but on this one I think I'm gonna stitch 1 inch up. Remember, we deducted 1 inch from the back already because our lining is gonna be short. So on stitching on the front, I'm gonna make sure it's 1 inch. So you're gonna go on the neckline and just mark them, and we're gonna go ahead and connect to the 9-inch we did take earlier to create our V-neck. So don't forget to take the 0.5 allowance. So I'll just extend that line and then just draw on top. So our allowance is connected. Please don't add any sewing allowance on the armhole. And I'm gonna go ahead and pin it just to make things sit properly. Just redraw it again, and now we're gonna go ahead and cut our front pattern. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut. I always say double check the tutorial before you make your own and watch where I'm cutting. Like, check everything because you don't want to waste your time and your fabric. Rewatch the tutorial 2 times, 3 times, understand the tutorial, then make your own. And please, in the video, watch where I'm cutting. Now we're gonna cut the front of our pattern. Please fold your back, okay? Don't go and cut your back. Fold it and then cut way we did. Like you see there, that is my button allowance, and just make sure you cut it properly. Yeah, double check the tutorial, watch what I'm doing. Our front was on fold, which is not necessary, so I'll just go ahead and open it. Now we're gonna cut the bottom part. Please remember to fold your back, or you can literally remove it, okay? Because me, I know what I'm doing. Maybe it's your first time, maybe you're a beginner sewing. Just remove your back and cut your front on its own, just to avoid like cutting your back. So this is how the front is looking. I'm gonna go ahead and cut my lining. You can see I'm gonna first transfer the dots, easy life like we did before. We're just gonna put our pin on the existing dot and transfer it to the front dot. After putting the pins, the pin actually come on the other side, and I just use those pin like to create our front darts since it's a vest, so you just use the normal darts as the back dart. Yeah, or you can go ahead and do the whole process again. You take from your shoulder to the bust measurement, then you take your waist measurement, then you take your nipple to nipple, then on the waistline you take 0.5 both sides, then you create your dots. So our dot is done on the one side. The other side, the back is already printing a dot, so I'll just go ahead and make it more visible. You can leave it like this, or you can create a side dart on top. My camera was not filming, sorry. So I take my armhole, divide by 2, which is 12. I have 6, so I mark that 6, and I'm gonna take 0.5 both sides, which is gonna be a total of 1 inch. Then I'm gonna connect it to the line. I just connect to my bust line. So if you're a Pro Max, you can stitch it all together, or you can just stitch the top and stitch the other darts on its own. Yeah. So I'm gonna transfer again my top dart because I want it to sit so nice. Same method, same trick. Yeah. So my lining is already unfolded. I'm gonna bring my back pattern. I just want to show you something quick. So the lining is gonna be a little bit shorter than the actual top, so I'm gonna deduct 1 inch. I'm just putting my top there because this top is like heavy on the bottom, it's not so straight. If it was straight, I'll just go ahead and cut. Just watch what I'm doing in the video. If you don't want it this heavy, you can just cut it straight, but on the bottom, on the waistline, you must like add on the actual fabric like maybe 1 inch so it can sit nice. Sorry, my phone stopped recording. Just make sure it's sitting properly, and then you go ahead and cut. So this is what I was saying. On top you can see everything is okay, it's just on the bottom I went ahead and deduct 1 inch because when I fold it, my satin will actually fold. You understand it once it's stitched, but for now you don't really get what is going on. And we're gonna do the dart transfer again. So on the front, I'll just show you how to do it. You're gonna mark your button, all allowance, and you come down from your shoulder to your bust. Remember we did add 0.5, so I'm gonna come down by 11 and a half. Yeah, and you're gonna come in. So my nipple to nipple was 8, so 4. I'm gonna come in by 4, and you divide your waist. So now it included the allowance, so you divide your waist by 2, you mark. This is just like if you don't know how to transfer that, so this is the way you must do it. Then you take 0.5 both sides, and from there you come down by 8 inches. Yeah, from your waistline you come down by 8 inches. So this method is for the person who doesn't know how to do that transferring, and you go ahead and connect it there. You create your darts on the front, and this is my lining, so I just wanted to show for the people that don't know how to do that transferring. And we're gonna do the same. Remember my armhole, if you measure, I'm gonna show you how. You just put your tape measure that way. I have 12 inch, so 12 divided by 2, I'm gonna mark 6. So you must measure your own armhole with your own measurement. So, and then you connect that line. So I'm gonna take 0.5 both sides, so I'm gonna deduct like 1 inch to make my vest sit properly. After that, you connect it. Now we're gonna move to the sewing machine. We're gonna sew. I'm gonna explain to you something quick. So this is what I was saying. You can stitch the dart on its own on the body, and on top also on its own like this. As you can see in the video, I didn't connect it all together. I stitch the side dart on its own, and I stitch my top dart on its own. You can stitch it this way, or you can go ahead and stitch everything together, like connect everything together. So I did that on my actual top, not on my lining. So on my actual top, I disconnect all my darts together. As you can see, I just take a little bit, not too much. So this is my back. I went ahead lining and stitch my darts. Now I'm gonna show you also the actual fabric. I went ahead also and stitch. So this is the other front part. This is what I was explaining. I did iron it so you can see properly. I stitch the body pattern on its own, and on top, the dart on its own, and on top on its own also. You can do it this way, or you can do the other way of stitching everything together. So this is my back. I went ahead also and stitch the dart. So after stitching that, you must always make sure you iron, so you can see how your top is looking. And yeah, it's looking like this because it's not joined with the lining yet and everything. I like to give my top that shape, to sit on the body properly. I'm gonna just extend that 1 inch while stitching. And this is my front and the main fabric. Like I did say, I stitch everything together, and this is how it's looking. If you don't know how to stitch this, just do what I did on the lining, okay? It's not compulsory. Yeah. So now we're gonna go ahead and stitch the front lining. I'm gonna stitch my armhole and the front, the buttonhole, and the bottom. I'm gonna leave that side, and I'm gonna leave the shoulder open, okay? And for my back, I'm gonna go ahead and stitch, put the lining the right side facing each other. So I'm gonna stitch my neckline. Make sure first it's set properly. After making it sit properly, I'm gonna stitch my neckline, my sleeve opening, which is I'm gonna leave my shoulder open. I'm gonna stitch my armhole. I'm gonna leave the side seam open. I'm gonna stitch the bottom. So this is how it's looking after stitching. I did leave the shoulder. I just stitch around and leave the side seam on the front top. As you can see, if it's like that, just take a scissor and cut that piece off, and always make sure to nip all your work, especially if it's something stitched like this, because you have to turn it around. So on the buttonhole, just stitch a little bit, don't stitch everything. Remember, we did leave 1 inch. Then you put your hands around and pull everything. So this is how it's looking after ironing it. Make sure you iron your work. I hate ironing, but when you sew, you have no choice. So the side seam still open, and you can see that is my buttonhole. Yeah, everything is ready. So I went ahead and stitched the back also. This is how the back is looking. And now we're gonna stitch our shoulder. Just put your hand inside and grab the front. As you can see in the video, just grab the front like that. And now you must make sure the lining is facing each other and the actual fabric is facing each other before stitching. make sure you arrange it properly. We're gonna stitch all around, but before that, make sure it's sitting properly. If you have to pin it, okay? So this is how it's looking after stitching. That is my lining right side, and this is the lining side. You can see it's set properly both sides. I went ahead and do the other side as well. So this is how the top is looking. Now we're gonna go ahead and do our side seam. So as you can see, this is how it's looking. Just fixing it so you can see properly. So you put your top on the wrong side, you grab the shoulders, so the lining must face the lining and the fabric must face the fabric, like the front of the fabric, the top and the back of the top must face each other. So you must pin it, please. You must make sure you pin it all around, like I said, the fabric facing each other and the lining facing each other, as you can see in the video. So after pinning, you must go ahead and stitch on the allowance. Remember, we did leave 1 inch allowance. Then after stitching, this is how it's looking. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side, but this is how it's looking. Remember, you stitch on your allowance, don't go extra or less. So now we're gonna turn it around. We're gonna do the other side as well. This time the technique is gonna change, but this is how it's looking after stitching. As you can see, this is the right side and this is the wrong side. So all seam are inside, like you can't see any seam on the outside. So on the other side, we're gonna do the same method. Like I said, this time it's gonna be different, but remember, the actual fabric must face each other and the lining must also face each other. But this time we're gonna pin, but we're gonna leave like a small space open where we're gonna turn our fabric. So I went ahead and pin it and leave that small space where we're gonna turn our fabric. Don't stitch all around, like stitch from the other side, you leave, and stitch also on the other side and leave that small gap open. So it's gonna help us later to turn on after stitching. So this is how it's looking after stitching. Remember, you stitch only 1 inch allowance, don't stitch less or more, or else your vest won't sit so nice. So we're gonna go ahead and turn it, okay? So remember, I did say leave a small gap where it's gonna help us turning our vest. So that small gap is there. I'm gonna put my hand and pull everything together. It's not going to be easy, but yeah, just be patient. Don't break what you already stitched, and just pull it slowly until everything is out. So after turning it around, I'll just go ahead and stitch that small gap on the outside. And this is how the vest is looking. You must just go ahead and iron every seam. Like we say, every seam is inside, so no seam is seen on the outside. And I'm so happy because I can't wait to wear it. I'm smiling like a fool. So guys, if you're my regular, thank you so much for your support. If you are new to the channel, You're welcome. Please guys, like, comment, share. If you have any question, don't hesitate to ask. This is just me fixing the vest, sorry. And I'm gonna go ahead and add my button and buttonhole. I'm gonna use 4 button, okay? So I'm gonna take 3.5. In the video it's showing 3, so 3.5 apart because I have 4 button. If you have 5 button, you can use 3 inches apart from each other. Now just watch what I'm doing, but for 4 button you take 3.5 apart from each other. For 5 button you take 3 inches, okay? Yeah, so I did take 3 inches and then realized my button was just 4. Then I went ahead and changed it. So I would do the buttonhole and the button behind the camera because the video was going to be too long. And make sure you mark also on where the button is going to sit because we have button and buttonhole. So maybe in the next video I'll show you how to do buttonholes and button, but for now the top is done. So this is how I'm looking. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, comment. I will see you in my next video. Your support means a lot. Bye bye.